Mahilig ka ba sa online shopping? Napaparami ba yung pag-add to cart mo lalo na kapag holidays or may special occasions? The more online orders you make, the more you have of these cardboard boxes, bubble wrap, and paper bags piling up at home. It's a Thursday, so it's time for another OTTTT, Occupational Therapy Tools and Tips Thursday! And in this video, we're gonna turn delivery packaging into toys! Most of us today do our shopping on our phones. We order online, mapa-appliances, clothes, or our groceries. Add to cart mo lang ngayon and the next day you already have them at your doorsteps. Along with all the products that we buy come all the delivery packaging. We have a pile of cardboard boxes, bubble wrap, and paper bags na minsan mas makapal pa kaysa dun sa binili mong item. We keep them hoping that we get to use them someday, or we just throw them right away. This creates a lot of trash, a lot of waste, and we also miss out an opportunity for our children to play. They may not have the flashing lights, the bright screens, or the catchy background music, but this is exactly why your children's imagination and creativity will be challenged. And that is on top of you showing them a way to help save Mother Earth. In this video, we're gonna look at ways on how we turn these materials into purposeful play activities and the benefits that your children will get on each one of them. We're gonna start with paper bags. They're the standard packaging that you get when you buy it in physical stores and even smaller stores that deliver the product directly to your house on the same day. The first thing that we're gonna do with the paper bags will be hand puppets. You can start by taking out the tags, making sure that your paper bag is clean. You can take out your other art materials that you can use to design your paper bags. You can have paint, take out your markers, your glue, your scissors, more markers, and colored paper. Today we're gonna start by painting our paper bag. So I'm gonna take out my brush. We're gonna color it pink. So you're gonna expect it to be messy, but it's okay. You can just fix it afterwards. You can choose a design for your hand puppet, and today we're gonna work with animals, and I want to make an elephant. So I'm gonna mix red and white to make pink, and we're gonna have the blue paper later for the trunk and the other parts of the elephant. So this is why you need to put some newspapers or Manila paper underneath to protect your table or your carpet. I'm gonna leave it to dry for a bit, and while we're waiting we can pack away so we can put on the covers. While waiting for the paint to dry, we can put this aside and then draw on colored paper the details that we want to add for the animal that we chose. I'm gonna use sky blue. I'm gonna have this marker, and I'm gonna start with the trunk. And the tusk. Also gonna add in the ears. I'm gonna give him giant ones. I'm also gonna add in here the eyes. I'm gonna add in white for the eyes. The tusks. And the inner part of the ears. Now we're gonna add in some black for the eyes. And I had it reversed. This one should be the white part, and the bigger one should be black. Before we cut this out, we're gonna leave it out to dry for a bit, and then we're gonna have our paper bag back. This time we have the paper bag back, and I think I want to add in some color. We'll open this one for some yellow paint. Get a brush and make some tiny circles. Oh, that's too much. And smaller ones, and big ones. We're gonna have a very colorful elephant. I think I want some spots on his face. Leave it out to dry and bring back the paper where we can cut out the body parts for the elephant. We're gonna keep this one for future use. Now we're cutting out the eyes, the tusks, and the ears. Now that we've cut out all the parts, we can put them aside and then bring back the paper bag. So along the part where the flap folds, this is what we'll use as the mouth of the animal. So for other animals that have teeth, you can just put the lower part of the jaw here. But since we have the trunk covering the mouth, we'll just glue it on the top part and not have anything underneath. I'm gonna glue the trunk first. Now we're gonna put the tusks. The eyes. Have some parts sticking out of the bag. And now time for the ears. And now we're done. The benefits your child can get from making these animal hand puppets would, number one, start with pretend play. So since they can put their hands in, you can read a story out loud while they move the hand puppets with their hands to pretend like they're talking. The second benefit would be from using all the materials, you can work on fine motor skills as well as artistic expression of your child. So you can have scissor cutting here from all the body parts. You can also have the gluing skills and also the painting as they use the brush on adding these colors. A quick tip that you can remember when doing art activities with your kids would be to be less prescriptive when it comes to doing the art. By less prescriptive, I mean maraming activities na nagsa-start tayo na nag-imagine tayo dapat ganito yung gawin mo and dapat ganito yung product na magawa mo after the activity. When you're working with art, you want your child to express themselves, to just explore using the material onto the paper bag rather than focusing on following a product. Para masanay sila on enjoying the activity, manipulating the materials, and also just having fun all throughout rather than making it into a test or a quiz. For younger kids, you can focus on assigning them a very specific part of the task. For example, they can just work on coloring and putting on paint while you, as the adult, will focus on the cutting and gluing. For older kids, you can work on executive functions and have them be part of every step that you're gonna do along the way. So you can start with asking them what materials they're gonna need and what steps you're gonna do. And you can learn that. You can watch our Get Ready Do Done video so you can learn how to do that step. You can also ask them to choose the story, ask them to choose the animals, and also search how to make that specific animal hand puppet. And last one, you can end the activity by having them do the cleanup. The next activity that we can do with these paper bags would be to use them for sorting activities. Number one that you can do would be working on basic categories. Number two would be to use the paper bag for your nature play. The third activity that you can do for sorting with the bag would be to assign one bag for one room of the house. This is very helpful, especially if you're introducing self-care activities, and you can work on expanding their vocabulary with common objects that you use for self-care activities such as feeding, toileting, bathing, or dressing. After that, you can go around the house looking for those objects. So for today, I want us to work on the bathroom. So what we're gonna do is draw the bathroom outside the bag, and then after we're done, we can go in the bathroom and collect the actual objects. So this time, we're gonna draw a bathroom for this paper bag. So we're gonna write here, bathroom. And then we're gonna draw common objects that you find here in the bathroom. to put here a shower curtain. Put hands on the side. You can add here other parts, as many as you want. You can have a closet here on top where you can put down all the objects that you can find. You can make it clear the toothbrush, the toothpaste, you can also have the soap, and shampoo. This is where you can add, maybe you can add a towel, and a rubber ducky. Fine. Now we can put in some paint. Colors. Gonna wait for it to dry for a bit. And there you have it. We have the bathroom assigned for this bag. So what we're gonna do is name all the objects here and then go to your actual bathroom and collect all the items. So let's say, for example, you have the toothbrush. So they're gonna go inside, get the toothbrush and the cup and put it in the bag. Followed by the toothpaste. You can also work on the function of these materials. So you can ask which one do you use for cleaning your hair, for cleaning your teeth, for cleaning your body, and later on you can do role play using these materials. The benefits your child can get from this activity would be, number one, introduce them to self-care activities or self-help skills. It's very important that they learn first the names of the objects they're going to use and relate it to the location where they can find it. And next one, the function on where they're going to use them. So for this one, let's say, for example, you're going to work on toothbrushing skills. So you can ask first, where can we find our toothbrush? Next one, what other things can we use for cleaning our teeth? So that's where the toothpaste comes in, the cup, the sink, so that you can relate the whole task with the location as well as the other materials they're gonna need when you give them instructions. Para pag nagsabi kayo, okay, it's time to brush our teeth, you don't give them instructions every time you're gonna do it. Ma-breakdown nyo siya dun sa location, sa function, and dun sa actual steps that they're gonna take. Since you're gonna use this to move around the house, they're gonna get some movement during the activity. And also, they're gonna work on topographical orientation or attaching a specific object to that location and then figuring out the directions that they need to take to be able to get to that location. The last activity that we can do using these paper bags, especially kapag sira-sira na or merong paper bags that are very thin na hindi mo na magamit to carry items, better use them as just paper. Ang ginagawa ko, I just cut them out and then I want to glue them on the wall para they can still continue to do their drawing using markers or painting on the wall while having the wall protected. Hindi na kayo mag-waste ng time cleaning it up kasi gagawin na nila on the paper bag covering the walls. You can just cut them along the side. There. And you can have multiple bags. You can just plaster them on your wall, and this will be the surface that your child will paint on, color on, use markers on instead of your white clean walls. So with that one, you won't be afraid of having your kids mess around. So it could be anything. And then another color. And an accent color. And wait for it to dry. And here's our artwork. So, maganda naman siguro, di ba? So, kahit ginawa natin siya sa table, you can imagine your child doing it on your wall. So, medyo mas magulo ata to, pero you already know what I mean, na ganito yung, ganito ka-messy yung gusto nating ma-produce din nila somehow, di ba? But of course, we don't want to deal with the cleanup, and that's the main benefit na nakikita ko from this, having your wall protected, and still allowing your child the opportunity to be messy, to be free, and to just express themselves and explore paint, markers, any drawing activity, and having them at the same time, strengthen their muscles. As we can imagine, di ba nakatayo sila when they're painting on the wall. It's a lot different kapag ka nagpaint sila on the table or on the floor kasi of course they have to work on their standing tolerance. They have to keep themselves standing up the entire time that they're gonna do that activity. So number one is gonna work on their standing tolerance and their balance while they're moving their arms around. Number two, it will also strengthen their upper extremity. So while they reach for the wall, they're gonna reach up, up, up as they reach for the higher parts. And that means you can expect na mas malakas yung shoulder, yung elbows, yung wrists. And how is that useful when you translate that task already to the table? Mas stable na, okay, mas stabilized yung bigger muscles nila, and you can expect more refined, mas controlled na finger control dun sa mga worksheet activities nila, mga handwriting or coloring activities. We're gonna hang this one up now, and that's the last activity we have for the paper bag. Now, time to go to the bubble wrap. You can step on these squares and play hopscotch. 2, 3, 4. And then stamp, stamp, stamp. All the tactile, the visual, pati nga olfactory.